Okay, so I'm going to talk a little more about what it's like when you're not in energetic authority, when you're being driven by energy, and when you are in your energetic authority, which is you in the driver's seat, aware of all of the energy and the dynamics and the archetypes and the parts that are moving inside of you and that you're experiencing outside of you. So when you're not working with your energy and you're not in a practice of energetic hygiene, and when you don't have the tools to clear and purify your field, to create the energetic boundaries where you can hold your own energy and maintain your center, and when you don't have that, the direct connection to that core of yourself, your inner knowing, your inner guide, your inner teacher, there's dynamics that can play out in an unconscious way here. So you're kind of in a passenger energy when you're not in your energetic authority, which means things are happening to you. You can be in some kind of duality dynamics, right? Like hero, villain, rescuer or savior and victim, narcissist and empath. This is a very common one in the sort of spiritual world. And all that means is that these are just archetypal energies that are moving through people that are in a dynamic of like a push and pull. It's like a superiority, inferiority, or, they're on both sides, they're disempowered dynamics, even when one seems to be dominating or superior. So when you're in any of these unconscious dynamics, there's an energy that's driving you, and it keeps you in a kind of loop where each of those energies are feeding off of the other, right? And what can that feel like? What does it feel like just generally when you're in a passenger, being driven by the energy? You can feel drained, you're leaking a lot of energy. You can feel overwhelmed, you can feel anxiety, or a real like a hopelessness or depression or a kind of apathy, because you're not in your power center. You're not holding and utilizing and directing your own energy. It's just kind of leaking out all these ways, and you're spinning in loops, which takes a lot of energy. And you're also carrying a lot of density and debris while you're spinning in those loops, right? So it's sort of like strapping some big boulders to your back and trying to sprint in circles. So what it can feel like. This is because we haven't been taught how to work with our own energy, how to do very basic energetic hygiene and practices, and come into more awareness and authority around our own physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic, etheric bodies. There's a lot more to your being and your body even than your physical body. There are many, many different chakra systems, many different layers of your aura, many different bodies that become more and more subtle as, the physical is the most dense. Then they become more and more subtle as you move out of the physical. So that's a bit about how it feels to be driven by energy, to not be in your center and maintaining your energetic authority. So with something like the Rose Meditation, where you learn to work with your energy and come into that purification process, that centering process, that kind of energetic field where you can hold yourself, and then that connection, what it feels like on this side is there's a sovereignty in terms of your choices, in terms of your thoughts, your words, your actions, your reactions. There's space for you to process the energy that's going on within you. Let's say when you're triggered or trauma comes up or you're feeling overwhelmed, there's space there for you to hold your own field while all that's moving, right? And there's a kind of, like, I experience it as this kind of calm, grounded, peaceful center that even in a big emotional storm or really big trigger coming up or a big wave of grief coming through, there's a way to maintain that center while all else moves. And this is a kind of inner peace or an equanimity where we can really sit in our witness, in our center, and be with whatever is there within ourselves. And then that begins to extend outside of ourselves in our relating, in our energetic exchanges, and all the other areas of our life. So when we're in our energetic authority, we're empowered, we're clear, we can make clear choices. Even if we can't see too far ahead of us, we can feel, okay, this is the next right step. We can stay really connected to our truth. We can stay connected to our loving awareness, to our heart space, to our spirit, to our intuition. So it's like all of these systems are working together. They're harmonized when we're in our energetic authority. And this is a really powerful place to relate to yourself from. It's very loving and it's very clear and direct. It's also a very powerful place to relate to others from.